Hello everyone, and welcome to my presentation on an office conflict that involved myself and other people in my office. My name is Gail Unders, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. First, I'm going to start with an overview of the conflict. I'm going to discuss the individuals involved, the nature of the conflict, the negotiation process that we used, and then I will speak a little bit about the final outcome. The individuals involved in this conflict were myself. My position as the finance specialist for the school district. Many of you know, but I work for Benton Harbor Area Schools, a district in Benton Harbor, Michigan, southwest corner of Michigan. We are a deficit district, and we have many challenges that we face. So from there, we go to my supervisor. His name is Scott. He is the Chief Financial Officer. A little bit about Scott. He's a very passive-aggressive person. He wants to be in charge and have the final say in everything, which is hard, as we've learned when working in a team environment. Next, we have Vicki, who was the assistant to the superintendent. The superintendent leaned on her to look over some of the things that she couldn't be directly involved in. So Vicki sort of played the role as the superintendent. She would take the information back to the superintendent, discuss it with her, and then report back to us. The final individual involved is Don. He was the consent agreement consultant who was appointed by Michigan Department of Treasury. Michigan Department of Treasury is very involved in our school district because we are a deficit school district and we have many issues. Treasury loans the district millions of dollars to keep going. So they put Don in there to make sure that rules were being followed, money was spent correctly. We reported everything. We were very transparent. And he was just there to make sure that we were following Treasury's rules. So the nature of this conflict was an approval process. When I first started at the district, the CFO and the superintendent, it would be Scott, and in this case, Vicki, would approve everything. Everything from a $2 purchase to a $20,000 purchase. Everything had to go through them. We did the approval process. We started out using paper for checks, or if a teacher or a staff member wanted to purchase supplies, they would do a purchase requisition. So everything was done on paper. We then switched to a paperless office. So now the software we use is the secretaries are able to put in their requests, and it goes to the next person. We have a set up within the system approvers by different levels of authority or stages in the office environment, such as the secretary would put the request in, and would then go to the principal, then come to me, then to Scott, and then to Vicki. We were trying to streamline that process a little bit because Scott and Vicki get overloaded, and I had brought up that perhaps some of the lower dollar items could stop at me for approval. Scott and Vicki were not very receptive because they like to be in charge and they want people to go to them. I was looking at it as it would help get bills paid on time because we were having problems with some utility bills. We were getting late fees, and some of our vendors were not very happy because it was taking a month to get paid. Being a deficit district, people are already afraid to do business with you because they may not get paid. So we decided to try to set up approval levels. We had some conflict as to what these levels would be. So we did a little bit of a negotiation, and we set in for a negotiation process. We first began having meetings with Scott, Vicki, and I, trying to resolve how we could get this done. Many times I felt that because Scott and Vicki had the same personalities, I was being bullied a little bit, that they were not respecting my level of authority. So we brought in a third party, which was Don, who was our consent agreement consultant. He agreed that we had some issues with our approval process and needed to set up leadership levels. What he proposed was dollar amounts, such as, for me, anything under $10,000 and $25,000 I could approve. $10,000 for purchases, $25,000 for utilities. Vicki and Scott did not like that. They didn't feel that Scott would have much say in what was going on. So we discussed different monetary levels of approval. And we discussed the benefits to the district if we had these levels, and the benefits to the staff, being things would be done in a more timely manner because I don't have near as much in my plate as the rest of them do. The final outcome ended up being a win-win for all involved. Scott and Vicki were comfortable giving me approval levels of $2,500 for purchases and $10,000 for utilities. That made me feel very respected, and I think it showed that we can work as a team as long as we don't get too emotional over the situation. We understand and respect each other and work together. Also, the staff and our vendors made them happy because now they have what they need in a more timely manner. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation. Thank you.